Good morning, Tallahassee. It's time to wake up War Chant on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Here's WarChant.com's Aslan Hajavandi and Corey Clark.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Friday. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. And it's a good thing that you're here. It's Wake Up War Chant, 97.9 ESPN Radio. I'm Aslan. He's Corey. You already know that. Busy day ahead of us. It's going to be so busy during the season. I don't even know how we're going to do everything into one little show, but we'll always make some time to ask Corey how he's doing. Corey, how are you doing?
I am doing okay.
Okay, why okay?
Well, Thursday wasn't great, but it was okay. I managed. I got through it, and now you know what? We're at the weekend, folks. We are at the weekend, and then next week, apparently, we just have it off because they're going to be in IMG, and we aren't, and we can't cover them there. We can certainly write about them, but how are we going to write about them when we're not there? So I'll see what we do next week. Maybe we'll do a lot of in-depth basketball stuff.
Okay. We might have some leftover stuff from the Renegade Express. Apparently, we had a whole deluge of questions come in after we did the program yesterday, so we'll get to those here in a little bit. From the jump, though, here, Gretzky's dad, it's literally a person on the warchant.com message board. Speaking of which, that promo is running out of time, folks. I think it ends this weekend. Sign up if you're not part of the warchant.com family. You'll get 2 football seasons for the price of 1 and a $50 gift card to Garnet and Gold. Check it on out. Go to warchant.com, sign up. And
the thing about Warchant, Aslan, as you know, is that it's obviously out of all the sites, it's got the best community, the most rabid fans, the most vocal fans, the most threads going at one time. Yeah, if they don't like you, they might tell you. Yeah. In fact, there was one on Seminole Headlines that I didn't read it because I know if it was like, what's wrong with what's happened to Seminole Headlines, and I didn't click on it because if I did, I'd probably want to argue with everyone that said something, and I can't do that to my life.
You need to teach me your Zen. I need to get
I know my personality. And it's not like I can't take criticism, but I'm always, and this is how I am in real life, like just with arguments. I always have to get the last word or try to explain my position instead of just saying, you know what, that's your opinion, it's fine. Yeah. I have a hard time doing that. So with that kind of stuff, I'm always going to want to be like, yeah, but. And
I hear you.
I go down a huge, really
dark rabbit hole.
Just a bad rabbit hole, an unproductive rabbit hole. But yeah, so you got the message boards that are really flooded with people starting now, and obviously for the next 4 months, it's just going to be a huge community. And you obviously got the best videographer working on the beat.
The only videographer.
Still, take the compliment.
Director of digital media.
You've got the best.
Some guy calls me the video guy, so I don't want to be diminished.
Yeah, you're the best director of digital media for sure.
Perfect.
And then you've got you can't even argue. You've got the 2 best writers.
For sure.
So
it's not fair. We're the Golden State Warriors. Too. We're the Golden State Warriors of the FSU beat, everybody.
And that's kind of like what it was when I came over here whenever that was, December.
You were Kevin Durant.
It was kind of Kevin Durant. Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Sorry, everyone. But yeah, so you need to sign up. And it really is. The football seasons, it's all fun. You're always with Florida State fans, but the football seasons, especially Taggart's first year, come on, man. Yeah. Sign up and enjoy the ride with all of us.
Hashtag Taggart era. Gretzky's dad says, Corey, I don't eat these for breakfast, but instead of Famous Amos, try Tiny Tates, which are amazing mini chocolate chip cookies, 60 calories per bag. Amazon has them. Order a box of 12.
I've never ordered anything on Amazon.
Really?
Ever. People in my life have ordered things for me on Amazon.
Do you churn your own butter and milk your own cows and everything?
Of course. I have my horses that I ride into town. But no, never ordered anything on Amazon. So I've never given that guy any money.
Good for you. Take that, Jeff Bezos.
That's not true. I have a Prime account. So I watch stuff on Amazon. Sorry.
Anyhow. Did we learn anything Thursday at practice? 12 periods. That was nice and robust. That was a healthy window to view and video. Did you learn anything from the Knoll drill? Did you see anything on the field? Dude, there's a video we posted. We posted. Posted
it. You're the director of digital media. You did it.
Thanks, man. So, Robert Cooper, I don't know what they're going to do with this kid. This is not me saying anything in a remotely negative sense about this. He's 6'2", 260. 6'3"?
No, 6'2", 360.
Did I say 260? Yeah. Golly, what's going on over here?
I catch it every time.
You do. Thank you, man. You are the wind beneath my wings. 6'2", 360, and the way he hits the sled, you always hear, Odell, bend your knees, get low, drop your hips. He was so low to the ground driving that sled. I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to become some sort of like Gilbert Brown or, some like Mount Cody, but I feel like you always remember Jimbo, you got to have the hip bend and all these sort of weird, measurable things they look at.
Knee flexion.
He has those. He's going to be exciting. I think he's going to be a fan favorite when it's all said and done.
Yeah, he's a big big mountain, massive humanity of a man. Yeah. And he's only whatever he is, 19.
At trench monster.
He could be a difference maker for him. By the way, real quick, I don't like to eat cookies for breakfast. It was just something I did that one time. Yeah, it was a.
I see you're still not drinking water. Now you have orange soda.
I do, but I've had some water today.
But what up?
Yeah. Standing out.
Your boy Anthony Grant. Stand up, Buford looked really good.
I don't think he's going to play a lot this year just because there's really good guys ahead of him. Oh. I don't know if he's one of those guys that you have to find a way to get on the field when those three are ahead of him. At least those three plus Rasul. But, I thought Francois, from what we saw, and again, it's very limited what we see because they didn't do a whole lot while we were there. It was probably by design. They knew they were going to be punting for a lot of it, so, hey, let them stay a little extra.
Yeah.
But Francois to me looked like more accurate quarterback again, and the one drill that we saw in Tamorian Terry's going to be a beast.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's going to be a little bit awkward for me because the starting quarterback and I are going to be beefing. It's a joke. They're missing on a lot of throws. I know no one's perfect. But it just,
even those throws,
crisp. I want to see a little more crispness.
For people that don't know, so what we watched was, I guess the ball was at like the 10, I'll say. Mm-hmm. And they were basically just running posts to the end zone. Or
corner of the end zone, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they ran some to the corner, and then they started running them like posts towards the middle of the field, like right in the back of the end zone. Right. I guess that's not technically a post, but you're running towards the goalpost from the 10-yard line near the back of the end zone. And there were just a few that just sailed completely over their heads. And then the ones to the corner, it didn't look like anybody was throwing those.
I think Francois was the only one who hit on it. Bailey missed on his. James missed on his.
And Blackman, again, there was a couple of throws the first day we saw where he just looked like he threw it straight into the ground. And then yesterday when we were watching, there were a couple throws to the end zone where he's just throwing it. Get the ball down, man. Right. You just got to get the ball down. I don't know if it's a timing thing or a mechanical thing, but again, that's I have to stress, it's one period of a 26-period practice, and he might have been awesome after that.
And practice number 4 of 30.
30, yeah, and there were no defenders there. It wasn't 11 on 11 or 7 on 7. It was just him throwing to wide receivers. Maybe the wide receivers didn't have the right depth. Just to me, so far, Francois hasn't looked incredible, but he's been the best of the bunch from what I've seen, but again, it's limited. I have to keep cautioning it's limited. We're not seeing a lot of what they're doing.
Right. They were doing a drill where Walt Bell had the netting where they had the windows cut out in the net and throw into the little hole or whatever the window. And he put it at the goal line and then had Francois and the quarterbacks. Golly, there's like 6 of them now.
Yeah, there's 3 walk-ons out there.
My goodness, I feel like it's too much. Too much of anything's too much. Let's have 4 guys and let's just figure it out. I hope
and I imagine once practice starts, they're going to be like, all right, you can't keep taking reps.
Just go to Bullwinkle's and just where the official.
Be here. No, that's fine. Yeah. Be here. Just there are going to be some periods here where it's going to be these 3 getting all the throws.
Yeah. So then Walt Bell is in the back of the end zone with his hand up above his head, and then he's got the quarterbacks probably on the 10-yard line. The gist of the drill is obviously hit somebody in the back of the end zone. Dwight Clark.
Over the net. Yeah.
Over the net, but get it to him. And Francois hit the post twice.
Yeah.
But then Blackman did well on that one. But when they broke out into the individual drills, when they were running the routes that you were describing, Francois completed the passes. James and Bailey just were way off on it. But again, like you said, it's one drill, one period of 24 periods that day, of one day of 30 practices. So I'm sure they'll get it figured out. I don't think any quarterback really.
And nobody's won anything
looking
yet.
Great anywhere right now.
I don't even know if you could say anybody's ahead. They're not in pads yet.
Feels like Francois is though.
Sort of, but it's not. It's certainly not anything that a bad day by him and a good day by Blackman couldn't flip it.
True.
He's not a lap ahead.
Anything else stand out to you? There was some hitting going on with the Knoll drill.
So a thing that I wrote about in the Brian Burns story that I wrote, which I think it's telling, and it's not anything. It's not anything earth shattering. It's not breaking news. But man, Brian Burns is made such an impact on this team that. So I don't know if you read it or not.
I haven't read it yet. I'll usually say the.
So I'm watching the offensive linemen go through drills and I see that Taggart's over there watching them because he's free to do that because he trusts his quarterback coach to actually coach the quarterback. So he's over there watching the O-lineman for 5 minutes, and they're doing they're going through the drill one at a time, pushing the sled, so working on their hands basically and their explosion with their hands. And after a particularly good rep, Taggart yells, I think to no one in particular. I know Dickerson had just done the rep. He goes, "Bring on Burns, baby. Bring on Burns." And then like 45 seconds later, he yells it again. Not to anyone in particular, just to the whole O-line group. Bring on Burns. That's right, bring on Burns. And he's clapping and smiling, and then he walks away. Yeah. It's like, man, that's the impact that 99 is having. The head coach is going over to the guys trying to block them and kind of trying to psych them up to get ready for Brian Burns.
So you're going to fight Apollo Creed.
Yeah. He can't handle you. Bring on Creed. Yeah, so that to me, and also Barnett's reaction when I asked if if he's done well, and he legitimately laughed as if, yeah, man, he's doing really well. The way these guys have been around the sport, the way they talk about 99 isn't normal. I've been around this sport a lot too, and I've been around a lot of preseasons. Guys don't normally get talked about like this as being this dominant. So, again, we'll see if it transfers. As Mark Snyder said, he compared him to
Myles Garrett. He said was the only guy that Brian Burns' get off and the way he bends. The only person he's ever seen get after the quarterback that way is Myles Garrett.
How's your get off, by the way? You pretty good at it?
No, I think I'm more of a read react kind of guy.
Right.
In the secondary, I need some time for things to develop so I can catch up.
Yeah, you're
close
reactive.
Strong.
You're I got you.
Strong.
So you got Mark Snyder saying that he reminds him of Myles Garrett as a pass rusher, not as a run stopper. He mentioned that. But then you have Harlan Barnett laughing about how good he's been, and then you have Willie Taggart trying to psych up his O-lineman by saying, bring on Burns. Not bring on the defense, not bring on Kando, not bring on that line, bring on Burns. So it reminds me of when I would talk to Jimbo. This was 2013. It was in August of 2013, just walking off the field like, hey, man, how's practice going? And then I somehow asked him about Jernigan, and he just looked at me and shook his head. And he goes, we can't let him practice. He ruins everything. We can't run anything. And this was a line of scrimmage with 4 future NFL offensive linemen, and the best offense in the history of college football. It turned out to be.
I thought they all were.
They all might. I don't know.
Yeah, Josue was on the practice squad. Yeah.
And you had one guy wrecking them so much that they had a hard time practicing. They had to be like, man, you got to stop. Get over here so we can run some plays. Burns, you're hearing that kind of stuff about. You're not hearing it, but the way they talk about this guy, he must just be an absolute wrecking ball. And if he's anywhere if he can have the impact that Jernigan had on 2013, I know they're different positions, but man, that bodes well. Is this guy going to be a monster? Like, is he going to have a monster DeMarcus Walker type senior season or Bjorn Werner type season from the defensive end spot?
12-0, let's go!
You got Wake Up. Wait, it's undefeated. We don't talk about loss. We have never covered a loss on Wake Up War Chant.
We have not.
This crew. And
undefeated.
We ain't gonna.
Never lost.
We ain't gonna.
We'll be right back after this. It's Wake Up War Chant, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You're locked in to Wake Up War Chant on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
In my race against time, I can't stop. Running through the red light, living my life. Even if I'm getting too hot, I'm gonna keep running through the red light.
He's Corey from Aslan's Wake Up War Chant, 97.9 ESPN Radio, Friday edition of the program, the best day of the week. This is the Renegade Express, continued from yesterday. Like I said, a bunch of people. Yeah, people just started dropping bombs after we went off air. Like, hey, what about this? What about that? So, first off, some guy, I'm not going to say his name, but Corey apparently has offered you free MLS tickets, and you haven't taken them up on it. What's up with that, Corey?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that I'd been offered free MLS tickets.
He asked me how to get in touch with you, and I think I gave him your information. Well, not your information. I think I gave him your email address.
I wonder if that was in my spam folder. I legitimately, I don't know who that is, but reach out to me again, I guess, because I don't remember seeing that at all.
He says, Corey, why don't you want the free MLS tickets I've offered you? Why don't you talk about Pooh Bear Williams more? He was by far the most fun, underrated player to watch.
Well, that's a good point. Clarence Pooh Bear Williams played in the league a little bit. Yeah. Part of that famed 1993 recruiting class.
Okay.
Who the last person that didn't make it, they had one spot left, and it came down to Melvin Pearsall, the tight end, and another player from the state. And they gave it to Melvin Pearsall, and the other player was Ray Lewis.
He was in Canton, yeah. He didn't shout out Florida State. Neither did Randy Moss. I mean,
yeah, what up, Randy?
Just no appreciation, just no respect.
Oh, golly, that was a year. I mean, that was a great 7 months.
That's fantastic.
Danny Cannell, man, his last season, he had Peter Warwick and Randy Moss redshirting. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, poor fella. FC Knowles, he joined on Saturday, it looks like.
But seriously, I want that person to know that I did not know that I did not. If you did send them to me and I read it, I completely forgot about it, but I can't imagine that happening. So please reach out again because those things are a lot of fun, apparently.
Yeah,
Big deal in Atlanta.
Atlanta United's litty, man.
It's crazy. We're not a good sports town, but apparently when it comes to soccer, we're the best in the world.
Watch out now. FC Knowles says, sup, guys, couple questions. Would you rather live in the coldest or hottest place on Earth? There you go. One of your headlines people are starting to
Got to be hottest, right?
Yeah, I'm the hottest guy.
And I love electric blankets. I love snuggling at night. I hate being hot.
There's no sarcasm in what he just said there, folks.
No, I use the electric blanket even now in August. I've got it on. It gets a little hot. I had to turn it down last night to 2.
Absurd.
But it's got to be hot. If you're too cold, you're going to die.
Yeah. Corey, what is your top 5 list of attractive college football coaches? I guess maybe 4 since Coach Bell's number 1.
Coach Bell's number 1 for sure. Well, the guy at Texas Tech, right?
Oh, yeah, Cliff Kingsbury.
And then after that,
Dreamboat.
Probably Orgeron.
Okay.
He's up there. I just love that voice. It's great.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It's a good question. Let me think about it. That's from several headlines, folks. I was talking about what a good-looking man Walt Bell is.
Charlie Strong is has very chiseled, strong features. I put Charlie Strong up in there. Who else could you sprinkle there? I mean, Bill Snyder. I mean, staying looking great all these years later.
He just signed another contract
for
5 years. He's 79. He's going to coach till he's 84.
Mike Martin and Bobby Bowden will be knocking on the door. Hey, guys. Remember us?
No lie. That's crazy.
Let's see here. NT Knoll 1417. Now that we're done with the JV practice in the mornings, that's what he said, not my words. How would you evaluate some of the freshmen? Which incoming freshmen do you guys think will be meaningful contributors this year? Much love to both you guys, and don't worry, Aslan, you can count me in the silent majority that actually likes you. Hey, there we go.
Not only are they
the silent
majority, but they're at least
They're
silent.
definitely silent. Definitely silent. Which incoming freshman? Dude, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and just go on a limb. I've been wrong about too many things, though, so I feel like I'm the walking Sports Illustrated jinx. I mean, I dogged DeGalen. DeGalen looks like he's probably going to start and be really good. Put all my chips in on the James Blackman train. Probably going to have to take the Amtrak now. I don't want to – I just think that Robert Cooper kid, they're going to have to figure out a way to get him on the field. He's so large, and if he can move the way he moves –
it'll be, some of that will be dictated by who they play. I mean, you don't necessarily need a 380-pound guy.
Right, I'm saying, but
he'll play a couple snaps maybe.
Yeah, behind DeMarcus and, Marvin, if Marvin's healthy for what we don't even know. I mean, Jalen Parks, Corey Durden, I mean, it's a lot of unproven sort of guys.
Durden's a redshirt freshman, right?
Yeah.
I think he's going to play a good bit. I think
Jalen
they do
Parks
like him.
Jalen Parks looked good. Jalen Parks took somebody's feelings away from him.
And I think Dennis Briggs is a kid they like. It's so hard to play. I mean, I just mentioned a guy in Jernigan that did it right away, but there aren't a lot of Timmy Jernigans out there, man. It's just really hard as a true freshman to make an impact on the defensive line. So usually, and Jimbo would say this too, which was ironic because he never played them, but go out wide and come in. And going out wide, it's easier to get on the field. The closer you get to the ball, the harder it is to get on the field as a freshman. And, again, I can't pinpoint who I think it will be. I guess I could just take a guess and say the Harrison kid from Seattle.
Okay.
Will play. We'll get meaning, but Warren Thompson I think will too. They're going to have some freshman receivers that play.
Right. All right.
Man, I was talking to a couple friends about this. Well, Tim and Ira, people know them. Yeah. They're not really even friends. They're more like just colleagues. I'm friendly with them. But 2019's team is going to be loaded. I know we have a season coming up, but holy moly, you're going to have Terry back, DJ Matthews back, all the running backs back except Patrick, a quarterback that's been a 2-year starter. Those tight ends are going to be freaks. Oh. And then on defense, you'll have Samuels. You'll have all these freshmen. You'll have Kendo. You'll have Marvin Wilson. You'll have Brooks. You'll have Woodby. I mean, it's going to be a loaded team. You're just going to keep adding pieces to it.
How about we pose a question to the people as part of like a reverse Renegade Express? What would you do, folks? Would you not have Florida State even field the football team in 2018 if you knew they were going to make the playoff in 19? Not necessarily win it all, but you're definitely be in the playoff in 19.
I feel like for that,
but you can't play no games in 18.
I would think there'd be a very high percentage of no, we don't want to do that. But if it was guaranteed a national championship, sure.
Oh, yeah, that makes
but playoff, I mean, they have a chance of making the playoff even if they do play 2018.
Well, hey, you never know.
They're going to be good, man. Those freshmen they're impressive. They're an impressive bunch so far.
JDog _20_8. What's up, Corey and the other guy? Still not ready to ask football questions quite yet, but soon. So this might go on the overtime podcast portion. No, you're in the show, buddy. You're not on the undercard,
you're in the sweet
man.
Spot right now.
Questions about the Little League World Series with it starting up now. Any interest to ever attend in Williamsport? Shout out to my PA peeps. And who do you got this year? I'm going out on a limb and saying the team from Japan. Little League World Series has always been the indicator that football season is almost here. Still enjoy the show, guys.
Yeah, I've had a problem here recently with ESPN.
I can't stand it.
They don't load up my TV with Little League Baseball, man. And
regional play.
Not even Williamsport. Like when I was growing up, you would see the U.S. Championship game on the Saturday.
Like on ABC.
Right. Yeah. And then on Sunday, you'd see the World Series but against Chinese Taipei, and they would just bomb. They'd have these 16-year-olds. They drove to the game. It would just crush whoever, with Tom's River, whoever they were playing. But now we're watching, like, quarterfinal plays
Idaho
in
versus
regionals.
Montana, like the Northwest final.
Just to get to not even to get to Williamsport, just to get to the championship game to try to get to Williamsport. Oh. It's crazy. Plus, these kids are enormous. Are they really? I saw one the other day, and not because I was looking for it. It was a team from Georgia playing, and they had a kid that was 180 pounds. He was 5'6", 180 as a 12-year-old. And then I'm looking at my son going, I'm going to have to start him early on the roids. He's 10. He got 2 years to gain 100 pounds.
All right, can you tap into your acting chops here real quick? We got to get to some more questions before we go to break. It's the third inning. It's a scoreless game. Brady drives in the RBI to put his team ahead in the third inning.
And we're in Williamsport.
No, you're in the sectionals. His team is playing Augusta.
Right.
Your reaction.
There you go. I don't know. Probably there you go, Brady. Nice hit, Brady. Okay. Something like that.
Like just to hear the pop and the crowd reaction. It's like good.
And they always have the camera on the dad or the parents when they get the hit, and they just go crazy.
Go, baby, go.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But I would be. I mean, I guess the only way I'd ever go is if Brady really wanted to go watch it. For some reason, Ari was in it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I would go.
I would go with you. I'd film the whole thing. I'd mic him up. I'd be in the dugout. It'd be.
I'll be honest. I can't imagine. Hopefully I wouldn't be that. I think I'd be more nervous if he was in a championship game pitching to go to Williamsport. Oh, yeah. Once he got to Williamsport, it's like, man, nobody gets this. Just enjoy it. Right. But man, that would be nerve-wracking to watch your 12-year-old go through that.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Do we have enough time? Let me run here. Yeah, we got time. We got one more question. Let's see here. T. Smith, 1790, Aslan, Corey. What's up, guys?
What's up, T?
Yeah, man, just doing a show. What did you guys see
on Terrence Smith?
Maybe.
National champion linebacker.
There you go. Yeah, he's also a Coast Guard.
He played doesn't he play for the Chiefs? Like he starts for them.
I don't know if he starts, but I think he's on the roster. Yeah. What did you guys see on special teams Monday and Tuesday? Don't we have one of the new coaches actually listed as special teams coach? Any guys practicing catching punts? Keep up the good work. Go Knowles.
That's a good question that we can answer. So we had Harrison was out there. Trayshawn Harrison was one of them. Keith Gavin was one of them.
To much chagrin of people in trouble.
Levanta Taylor, Nooney Murray.
Yeah, Nooney.
And what they were doing, there's got to be one more. I know there was one more. But I can't. DJ Matthews was not out there, but DJ Matthews hasn't been out there.
Oh, really. Isaiah Bolden, right?
Isaiah Bolden, yeah, the freshman DB. But what they were having him do, if you don't subscribe to Ward Chant, you might not know this, or if you're not on Twitter, but they're having the returner hold a ball in one arm and still catch the punt in the other hand. That was a drill they were working on that they did a lot. And I guess that'll help if they actually if they start using two footballs in games. Florida State's going to be way ahead of the curve.
That's how we do it. Yeah, Alonzo Hampton actually met with us yesterday.
He did.
He's a special teams coach. Yep,
another cool guy, man.
Yeah,
another cool guy.
A lot of importance. It sounds like shared a story about how him and Willie actually met at some sort of NFL, I think, minority internship sort of thing.
Eagles,
yeah. So that's where they met, and the whole joke was, hey, listen, whichever one of us gets a job first is going to bring the other guy. So. Willie got it first at Western Kentucky. I think he actually mentioned that there was a couple stops where Willie didn't take him.
Yeah, because he went back. He coached at a high school in, I think, Tift County in Georgia. He coached at a high school for a year or two. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting story for him. And now he's at Florida State, man. Like 3 years later.
Yeah, he's loud. He's very demonstrative out there. He's on him. So it's yeah.
And I should say real quick, I know we got to go. So 2 days ago when we watched Logan Tyler punt, he'd hit like a 55-yarder, just a beauty, and then the next one legitimately hit the tower. Mm-hmm. Like just went straight left and hit the stairs going up to the tower, like 18 yards away.
Bobby's tower in the middle of the field.
Very inconsistent,
right?
With no rush either. Yeah. But I thought yesterday when he was punting, he was booming them. It was pretty consistent, even with the rush. I thought 80 or 90% of them were really good kicks.
All right,
so that's good. To, maybe he's figured that out.
Good stuff. Halfway home, plenty more show though to come right after this. It's 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Wake Up Ward Chant.
The Sod Cemetery, Osceola and Renegade, and of course, the Ward Chant. These are great traditions known to all Seminole fans. If you are a card-carrying, garnet and gold-wearing Nole, don't you deserve a site that is truly dedicated to covering FSU sports? WarChant.com's staff has over 50 years of experience covering the Seminoles. WarChant.com is the only FSU outlet with a full-time recruiting analyst in Tallahassee. Plus, it's the only site with a full-time videographer and a daily podcast, 100% dedicated to FSU sports. Why act like Gators and settle for second best? WarChant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.
I'm Aslan. He's Corey. It's Wake Up War Chant 97.9 ESPN Radio. Don't forget, folks, head over to warchant.com. Sign for that great promotion right now. 2 football seasons for the price of 1 and a $50 gift card to Garnet and Gold. Also, don't forget, if you're going to go to South Bend for the Notre Dame game, you might want to actually stop in Chicago and hang out with the War Chant crew.
You certainly don't want to stay in South Bend.
You do not. I can attest to that. Game Time Excursions offering some packages for the ultimate Florida State fan. Check them out, GameDayExcursions.com. If you use the code WARCHANT, you'll get $10 off. There will be a welcome War Chant party on Friday night in Chicago.
That sounds fun. Yeah. That's going to be a good time, man. Chicago's an awesome city. And South Bend is awesome for a day, for a football game. Mm-hmm. Maybe not the night before.
And then, I got a good story about that we'll get to in November.
Okay, good. I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, back to the questions on the Tribal Council. This is from Jimbo Jangles. Not a question, just a comment. Just want to say I love the show, and War Chant has been nailing the coverage of fall camp so far. Keep doing your thing, playas.
That was Jimbo Jangles?
Jimbo Jangles.
Thanks, Jimbo. We agree with you, too. We have been nailing it.
Doing all right.
We've been crushing it.
Savage with a D. So Davage 300 was Davage. I think Davage. It's spelled Savage, but with a D. What do you want to do?
I'd say Davage.
All right, Davage 300. So Aslan, wake up! I have been listening since show number 1. You were terrible, and Corey told you as much. But, sir, you have taken your game to a new level, and I love the show. Come on, Coracle. Dude is passing you.
What?
Yo, Coracle, wake up!
That's crazy, Davage.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Davage 100.
Checks in the mail, buddy. So I love Odell. What a great Nole. My question is, when the old staff checked out, which clearly they did, how do the diehard Noles like Odell deal with that in relation to knowing recruiting had stopped, etc.? They have to know they are in the blank jackpot at that point, right?
What do you think? What do you think?
We've touched on this a few times. We've touched on this a few times. I think Gene
great
Williams,
Seminole, by the way. Odell,
fantastic Seminole. I mean, the Seminole, the dude. Gene Williams was the only person I think that kind of gave some perhaps cover or reasoning to Jimbo's whole, we're going to shut it down on the recruiting thing, we're going to mail it in, just in terms of the fact that season was so precarious last year and was, on life support from the jump, that it was one of those things where let's just eliminate, I guess the recruiting aspect, let's just focus on game day, focus on the 85 that we have on scholarship now, and, maybe this will all settle itself in. So I don't know.
That worked perfectly.
Yeah, clearly did not. I mean, I don't think Odell. Listen, man, you got to be a good soldier too. Odell's a great man. Maybe he did get on the table and be like, "What are we doing? We're going to screw things up in the future. Let's get back to recruiting." He might have, but I don't hold any animus towards him for that. You gotta take your marching orders sometimes. So
I'm sure it was pretty frustrating though. Just when there was infighting going on, and you're Odell Higgins, man. You live and breathe this university. You've been here for 30 years, and you're working with some mercenaries that obviously don't, and that's the nature of the sport, but you're working with some people that don't have your same love for the university or the football team, and maybe don't care as much as you do about the success and failures of the football team. And I'm sure that rubbed him the wrong way many times in 2017.
Yeah, good.
Still the only undefeated. Well, I guess Taggart is still undefeated.
That's true.
Odell's got the best winning percentage of all time.
Boom. Bollie, Bollie.
Bollie, yeah.
Bollie, 6589. Aslan, great music intro Wednesday morning. Corey, I love you, man. No question. Just want to let you guys know you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Go Noles.
Thanks, Bollie.
Yeah, appreciate
that.
Or
I guess it could be Boley.
Yeah.
But thank you. That's very kind.
Whatever the correct way is.
I love you.
Name. Yeah.
I tell you every week.
Yeah. All right, let's get some of the questions that we have on the phone lines that we weren't able to get to. This one is 50 seconds. We'll play. Maybe I'll fade it out if it gets a little too long-winded.
Start playing the music like at the Oscars.
Wrap it up.
Hey, fellas. Great job. Jim in Tampa here. Listen, I just think with Florida State, the way they're going to play their offense and the inexperience of what Virginia Tech is going to have on defense, that I think Florida State could put up 50-plus against them, possibly. Especially if DeAndre Francois is not only being able to get the ball out quickly like he's been in practice, but also being able to run. I just think they're going to have a hard time stopping that with young defensive players.
Okay. Jim in Tampa.
I think my counter to that 50. Would be if it was game 4, game 6, 9 maybe.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, those Virginia Tech guys would be more experienced then. But, man, you're going to have somebody running this offense for the first time. And if it's Francois, he didn't even run it in the spring. So he hasn't been under the lights at all with this thing and really gone fast. So how's it going to look the first few games is what I would wonder. It would, to me, man, it would just obviously, and it's not how it happens anymore. Every opener they're going to have in perpetuity is going to be a monster game. But it would be so much better for them if they opened up with Samford. Yeah. I think.
I always feel, you're so excited for the
50
season
points
start.
On Virginia Tech would be really, Bud Foster still knows what they still got players there, and he's a good defensive coordinator. That would be, again, this place would go, we'd be flipping cars in the parking lot if they're scoring 50 points. We'd be really excited.
Opening games, I think, it's especially when you're playing good on good, like a really good team in your opener, how often do you see 38, 45 points being hung on good Power 5 teams when they open up against each other?
Yeah, not very.
I don't feel like it's very common.
Often. If they can score, what do you think, 30? 30 gets you a win, probably, you hope? 30, 34,
for sure.
Like that.
For sure. Because, I think Florida State's defense is going to be pretty darn solid, especially on the back end.
You know what they're going to be is salty.
Oh, yeah. Like sea salt, like coarse or finely grained salt?
Well, finally, sea salt. Come on, man.
Sorry, that was terrible. Next question.
Aslan, Corey, wake up! It's Jeremy from Fort Lauderdale. I know you're all excited about Coach Taggart. I am as well, so far. What about him so far has surprised you the most? Thank you for all you do. Go Noles, and go Wake Up War Chant.
I like that at the end. Go Wake Up War Chant.
Yeah, we're a team, man. What has surprised us the most about Coach Willie Taggart so far? The guy, just everything he's – I don't want to, suck up to the guy. Just everything he's been doing is really good. All the bringing back Mickey sitting down with us in Charlotte.
Yes, that was great. That really was great. But having them sing the fight song after practice. I don't know if people saw that on Twitter or saw the video, but at the end of practice, while the kids are stretching at the end, they play the fight song, and he made the whole team learn the fight song, which me and you were having that conversation. Yeah. You and I were having that conversation a couple days ago, and I don't know it. I know you got to fight.
You got to scalp them.
You got to win this game. Yeah, you do all that. So he made the players learn it, and then they're doing the Florida State FLORD. It's cool. It's another way to just ingratiate yourself to this fan base. And he wasn't even doing it to get filmed. I don't know if he knew it was going to be filmed because the press was all gone. It was just Tim with his phone. So, man, that's just him wanting to instill that kind of school pride in the players. He thinks that's important, and I think it is important. It's not going to win them any games to be singing the fight song, but that surprised me, I guess.
The two things that would surprise me is he's much more comfortable than I thought. I knew he had his hip coolness and all that sort of factor, but I figured he might be a little – I thought he'd be a little bit timid maybe at first, but he's walked on that campus since day one owning that place. It's his program, and he's loose. Today he was walking up yesterday he was walking up the sidewalk to get into the practice field, and we weren't able to talk to him on Thursday, which is fine. We'll talk to him today, I think, right? And I'm just filming him, and he just looks right in the camera and just said something. He's like, "Boo! What's up, everybody?" He's
right.
When you think of head football coach of Division I know he's the fun coach, but you still think that a lot of these guys are dialed in. Listen, it's day 4 practice. Let me just get in here and get everything done. That and just how I thought he'd be much more hands-on in practice. He picks his spots and does it, but he's nowhere near. I just thought that if he was going to be calling the plays, I figured he would be maniacally micromanaging every aspect of things. But he lets Walt have his reign, and then he's going from he's just coaching everybody up. He's going to defense, putting his arm around guys, making them feel better after a bad rep, and just I didn't realize he'd be so. He's coming from Western Kentucky and South Florida. He's only been in Oregon for 1 year at a Power 5 job. I didn't know how, sort of strong of a leader he would be. So I'm very surprised to see how, just seamlessly he's taken
he's handled, we've talked about it a lot ad nauseum, you could say, but he's handled everything just about flawlessly so far. Every move he's made, you just now, as we all know, you got to win games or it doesn't matter.
Got to win a few of them. All right, we got to take a few more breaks. One break, a few commercials in that break. Good. We'll be right back after this. It's Wake Up War Chant, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You're locked in to Wake Up War Chant on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told
Welcome on back. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here all week, all month thus far. It's been riding since show one, like our previous poster on War Chant. Appreciate that. He's Corey Maslon. It is Wake Up War Chant, 97.9 ESPN Radio. We got a few more questions from the voicemails to get to, Corey, but what were your thoughts after Brett McMurphy reported that it was going to be 2022?
Yeah, in 2023.
23, Florida State and LSU are going to do a quasi-home-and-home, I guess you can say. Orlando and New Orleans, they'll be playing the games at. Or is it New Orleans the first time?
I think it's New Orleans and Orlando.
Okay.
So I'm excited about New Orleans.
I'm so pumped.
If we're all alive in 2022, who knows? But if we're all here and loving football still exists, then we're all speaking English and good things are happening for us, then I'm really excited because we got robbed out of a New Orleans trip in 2014 with the nonsense of having to go to Pasadena for a second year in a row. So I'm really excited about that. I get why they're doing it from a money perspective. It's just more money.
Yeah.
It would be cool to have both those. And it's happened. I mean, they used to do home and homes, these two programs, before neutral site games became popular. This was 26 years ago, but they used to do it. So it'd be cool. It'd be much cooler, in my opinion, to have LSU here in Doak, and then go to Baton Rouge.
That'd be nuts.
That would be incredible.
I think that was a little overrated, but still, it's an experience.
Oh, you've been there? Yeah, I've been there. I was there in '91, actually. It was the same night that Kirby Puckett hit the walk-off home run in the World Series against the Bravos.
Sorry, man.
It's a little bit of a bad, and then it went on to the next night when Lonnie Smith couldn't run home. But anyway, I've forgotten it. It's no big deal. So but I think it's awesome. I think it's neat. I think it's good for college football, these matchups.
Right.
I just think it would be better for college football if they were in the home stadiums.
Played on college campus.
I think that's better for the sport, but I get why they do it. I guess they make more money.
There's already a thread on the Tribal Council talking about how it's going to be a really good game. Lane Kiffin will probably have LSU ready to go.
That's right. Walt Bell will be coaching Florida State because Taggart's with the Jets.
We'll have plenty to talk about. Maybe that's something I do want to talk about next week when we have time. We'll revisit the final.
So
college
next year, who do they open up
poll
with?
In 14. Is it Tech in Virginia?
It's West Virginia, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Or is it Boise State?
Oh, it's Boise State.
And then the next year is West Virginia, and then another year is I think Notre Dame, and then it's LSU 2 years in a row.
No, I think Notre Dame is just they have them one season. I think somebody was joking about might as well just go ahead and move that to the opener. I think that's what somebody was saying. 2019 is Boise State at Jacksonville. 2020 is West Virginia at Atlanta. I take it back. You're right, per usual. Labor Day 2021, Notre Dame.
It's not fun being right all the time. I'll be honest with you because it takes some of the drama out of life.
Yeah.
I don't get to learn anything.
This site, FB Schedules, has not updated the LSU.
Then LSU. So you go Virginia Tech, Boise State,
West Virginia,
Notre Dame, LSU as your openers. And yet Ole Miss
in 15.
Yeah, Ole Miss in 16 and Alabama in 7. I mean, I get it, sure. Maybe cycle on in East Carolina for an opener like the old days. I don't know that this does anything for you, really. I get the money helps, but, man, it also helps to make the playoff.
Touche. You know what's funny is that I think Nick Saban said that he wants to go away from that.
Yeah, he does.
He was the one that started
this. He did kind of. Alabama does it every year, and good for them. They always do schedule tough. They always win those games, too, so that's why they keep doing it.
It's good to be the king, right? I'm trying to think. Who did Florida State open with in 2015? Texas State. That's we
all remember that.
Oh, yeah, 59-16.
We all remember that. 2014 was Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So, yeah, out of they'll go like, whatever that will be, 11 years, and they'll only play one, like, non-kind of football traditional power to open the season.
All right, let's see.
If you want to call Oklahoma State or West Virginia powers, but they're good. They're Power 5 teams.
Yeah. All right, we got, I think, 3 more questions. Let's see if we can
do it.
fit
Let's
these
roll
all in.
through it.
Wake up. Good morning, guys. This is Stephen from Tampa. I had a quick question. We haven't heard anything about Zaquandre Wright this offseason, and with all the hype coming in, and even though I know we have a good stable of backs, just curious as to where he's been. I haven't heard any updates. Even Anthony Grant, although he's a newbie. Love to hear any information and any insight you guys have. Thank you, and keep up the good work.
It would be cool if they went from calling them freshmen to just calling them newbies.
Yeah, that's what we should do. Remember, I was talking about the fifth-year senior needs to have a certain, I don't like the redshirt freshman designation.
Yeah.
Newbies.
Newbies is good for the regular freshmen. Yeah. So, you take it.
Well, Zaquandre's a linebacker.
Yeah.
I
moved to linebacker.
I zoned out Harlan Barnett. I asked him about that at the top of the interview yesterday. I'm like, can you talk about some of the position changes? Like, well, he's like, I think you assume you're talking about Zaquandre. And I'm like, okay. I was trying to bait him into maybe talk about Hamza.
Right.
We didn't report it, but I think something's out there that maybe he moved to linebacker. I don't know. I think I've seen him with the DBs the entire time.
Well, at least yesterday while we were out there, he was running with the DBs.
I don't know what he said about Zaquandre, but Zaquandre Wright's at linebacker right now. And
so that doesn't bode well for his future as a running back.
Right.
But, I mean, he came into a loaded backfield with guys that are really good. I mean, he literally came into a freshman class that got 2 other 5-star running backs. It's hard to get on the field.
He came with LeBarn and Cam?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a sophomore or a redshirt freshman.
Crazy. And then Anthony Grant, we actually got to see him for the first time today.
Yeah, because he was we got to see him on Thursday.
Correct. Sorry.
Because he was running with the freshmen in the earlier practices, and he looks the part, folks.
He does. I mean, for me, it's you just kind of watch Cam and you watch Kalen, and then you see him come next in line, and you're like, okay, that looked pretty similar.
Yeah.
It gives you a good feeling. Like, all
and
right.
Willie was really high on him when they signed him because I guess there was a thought that maybe he would be moved to linebacker because that's what he played in high school too. Yeah. And he's like, no, he's a running back.
And you're right. Yeah, Zaquandre, 2017 class, 4-star out of North Fort Myers. Yeah, but linebacker, maybe it'll work out. He'll be the anti-James Wilder, or the reverse James Wilder, rather.
Yeah, or he'll be like he'll be the next great position change in Florida State history.
By the way, way to go, Joanne on the message board yesterday. I was proud of you because somebody called in on the questions on the voicemails and was asking what the best position changes in Florida State were since 2010.
The guy was making fun of us for not thinking of Derek Brooks.
And then I put in the thread, I'm like, best historical position changes. Like, you guys forgot all this, and I'm like, well, I didn't. It'd be too worded. Put best position change at Florida State since 2010.
Yeah, but you said that on the show.
Right.
The question was asked with the best position change since 2010.
It was great. You came in and were like, how about you listen before you come at us throwing these LOLs around here? I'm like, get him, Corey.
Well,
that's my guy.
Really, Bob, the LOL when you're laughing at yourself. I know you're not laughing out loud typing that. Just the whole LOL bothers me.
Somebody called in and asked where True Thompson is on the commitment list. I double checked on Rivals.com and he's there. He's still there. True Thompson from Grayson is still committed to Florida State. He's on the list. So
all right, well, good.
And
so he's staying true to his word. That just happened, folks. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah, and
that war chant subscription will really come in handy. You'll get all that kind of wit, just off the cuff every day on the boards.
You wrote a column. I didn't get to read this story, or did I? I wrote about Sanford Samuels, or did you write about Sanford Samuels moving to safety?
I did, but it wasn't a column. It was just
just a write-up or whatever. Well, Josh from South Dakota wanted to kind of know.
South Dakota, man, isn't that awesome?
That's awesome. He sees it being very beneficial, because you have a guy like Sanford Samuels covering maybe in years past, maybe a guy like Braxton Barrios coming out of the slot.
Him or maybe the I hate
Switzer?
to identify him. Oh, there you go.
I know what you're saying.
I was going to say the good wide receiver from North Carolina.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah. Yes, that would probably help. Those slot guys are tough matchups for anyone, man. You got more of the field to work with. But yes, I do think, and we'll see, but I think that's a really cool idea to have a guy like that rangy and that fast that can go make plays in the secondary.
I mean, just think about this real quick. This will be the last thought, and then we got to get out of here. You have Levante Taylor at one cornerback position, Kyle Myers growing,
or
blossoming,
whoever else
another
is over
cornerback
there,
spot. Hamza and Cyrus Fagan as your safeties. I don't know. I still think Hamza's a safety. I don't know until further notice. I still think he's a safety. And then you have Jaden Woodby floating around as your star linebacker, and then you have Sanford Samuels as like a fifth defensive back. Like
I mean, they got to go prove it.
Come get some.
It ain't 2013. That secondary is one of literally the best of all time. But and not just Florida State best of all time, like just best of all time in college football. But this one has some potential, man. It could be. And again, if you're getting anywhere close to the quarterback, those guys will have a chance to go make plays. Go make plays. Secondary hadn't done that around. Jalen was awesome. He didn't make a ton of plays. He kept plays from happening because he was awesome. Yeah. But if you can get a good pass rush, man, maybe you turn the game around with a couple pick sixes. Am I right, Aslan? Am I right?
You're right, per usual. Did ask Harlan Barnett about that. Was saying that pretty much, I was asking him how cool is it to have both Levante and Brian Burns at those important positions of a cover corner and then coming off the edge. And he was like, they definitely hurry up the clock.
Yeah.
It rushes the clock for whoever's trying to come at them. So
and hopefully somebody in the linebacker core or a couple of those guys can step up and be productive.
Yeah. What are you up to this weekend, man? What are you going to do?
Heading back to Atlanta since I don't need to be here or in Bradenton. So going to hang out with the kid. He's back in school already. So I'm
really?
Drive him to school and maybe get maybe lift a little.
Ooh.
Start lifting again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Throw about 3 bills up.
Coach me up here. What do I need to know this weekend? What should I do? How should I live my life for the next 48 hours or so until we reconvene?
You still doing things? You still seeing? You still have a lady friend that you're hanging out with?
Yeah, it was actually really romantic the other night. We both deleted our Bumble app, which is what we met on.
Oh, did you do it together?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's a cool moment.
No, I was hilarious. I'm just like, I think we should maybe just go ahead and delete it now. She's like, yeah. She's like, I already deleted mine.
Oh, that's funny.
She said she deleted the app, not her account. So you can actually delete the app, but you're still floating out there,
right?
And if you re-download, you can find out everything.
For people that don't know, Bumble is like another
Tinder. Yeah, it's a little classier.
It's classier.
Yeah.
Did you delete your Tinder?
Yeah, I did.
Great, man.
I've grown up. Yeah,
that's awesome, buddy. Yeah, so congratulations. That's good news.
Maybe I'll be happy.
Do we ever get to meet her?
Probably not. Yeah, set something up. Have Stephanie.
No, I meant the Wake Up Ward. People have heard about Stephanie. They know about her.
Okay.
When do we get to meet her and know her name?
When should I say that? I feel like is it too soon?
I feel like it's football season. If you make it to Labor Day night,
okay,
the next day we're doing it.
Corey, man, I really like co-hosting this show with you.
No duh.
You're a cool guy.
Yeah, you got lucky.
I did. All right, everybody, have a great one. We'll talk to you on Monday.
WarChant.com is the ultimate inside source for FSU football and recruiting. And now you can get in on the action for free for an entire month. WarChant.com is offering a risk-free 30-day trial subscription. Get full access to the #1 website covering the Seminoles just by entering the promo code WarChant30. That's WarChant30. Sign up and get in on the world's most active FSU message boards. Receive breaking news, stories from our award-winning staff, plus get exclusive interviews and videos. Just enter the promo code WarChant30. WarChant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.